Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Our subject is a hybrid learning project, which correlates an English learning program with a full Western K3 through 12 solution. So today, our presenters are Mr. Pemberton with the study cat, and Mr. Rogers and Mr. McLean with Edmentum. So, gentlemen, you have our undivided attention.
So, to start our discussion today, I'd like you to imagine being an international student where English is not your first language, but you want to go to a Western country for a university or high school. Can you imagine what that experience would be like? You might think determination. You might think endurance. You might think hard work on the one hand, but on the other hand, you might think stress, right? Difficulty. You might even think depression. A lot of times when a student even goes to that land, there's all kinds of classroom culture problems to go on top of the language, just social culture issues. The question we face today, more and more in a global education paradigm, is how can we make that experience more fluid, more comfortable, and easier for an international student. And that's where our partners come together. Edmentum International and StudyCat is English. Edmentum International is a full K-12 solution. And the level of partners that we're building, that partner network that we're building, is on the level of something like Sigong Media. Now, Edmentum International and Sigong Media, I like this illustration. Maybe you thought of Atlas, right? Remember the Greek mythology, Atlas, he lifted the entire globe onto his shoulder and he carried the world, right? Well, Sigong Media has done the same thing with all public education in Korea. They lifted the whole system up and carry it. Edmentum International, 60,000 public schools lean on their curriculum day in, day out, year after year. And so this is the level of partners that are involved with this project. The project begins, obviously, in the preschool kindergarten level. And this is where it's pretty much 100% English learning, right? But as we get into elementary school, our program will prepare these young students for a Western education at the 4th and 5th grade. That's our goal. Obviously, at this level, there are many, many, many students, right? But at this level, when they're ready for a Western university track, there may be fewer students who go there. But our motto is, just because you don't want to, doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to. So we want to give all students that level of English ability to be able to function in an academic setting, whether they want to or not. So in South Korea, we're rolling out our local partners. We're looking for that level of local partners in every land. The Middle East, all across Turkey, Egypt, all across South America. We're building a network partner, network of partners all through Southeast Asia. And together with Edmentum, Sigong Media is going to be able to provide this powerful Western education opportunities to students all across Korea. As we build our partner networks, we'll be able to provide this solution all across the world. So with that little bit of an introduction, I want to turn the platform over to Mark Pemberton. He's going to tell you a little bit about the front end of this program, StudyCat.
Thanks, Jeff. Hi everybody, my name is Mark Pemberton. I am the chairman and founder of a company called StudyCat. And StudyCat, we make learning applications for children to learn English. So our product is called Fun English, and we've had over 7 million downloads around the world in the past 7 years. And it's called Fun English because we want children to have a positive beginning learning experience with English. I've been in Asia for 25 years. I understand that for a lot of Asian learners, English is a very difficult thing. A lot of grammar tests, a lot of very negative things that are learned when they first start English. So what we want to do is create a positive learning experience for children starting English. We started wrote curriculums for the classroom starting from 2000. And in 2006 we built an online world. And in 2011 we started to create applications. As you can see the data there. We've had a lot of success, especially in the App Store. We've received some awards from various companies. We now have a blended solution. So our lead product is applications. And then we also have books, student cards, and DVDs. So that we have a classroom solution, also a home solution. And this is what we call our learning management system. The teachers can assign homework and activities that are 5 or 10 minutes of gameplay at home. We've released this product in China, and we have 1,500 users in a pilot case in Xi'an. This is all working very, very nicely because the children do 10 minutes of playtime and then they go to the classroom. We call it the flipped classroom. So when they arrive in the classroom, they've already learned the vocabulary and they can practice it. Here is a snapshot of the product. So student books, activity books, and DVDs, all tied together with the application. And this is a 3-year course for kindergarten students. So the target age is 3 to 6. We're aligned to Cambridge Assessment, and this handsome gentleman is Wade Nichols. He's a very, very good curriculum writer. So we have very strong DNA inside our program. And once the children have done 3 years of education with Fun English, they move on to the Edmentum program. So the partnership of StudyCat and Edmentum is a very strong one. And we go from device and touchscreen and over to Edmentum's products, which are going to be introduced now by Gavin. And they are they've been used all over the world and very successful. So this is the Head of Business Development for Edmentum, Mr. Gavin McLean. Thank you.
Thank you very much to previous speakers, and I just wanted to say how delighted we are to be here in Hong Kong to share our project with you. This is a true partnership of countries and companies and ideas, and we have come together to offer something that we believe is unique in the world of English language education. As Jeff said at the start, we have begun our project in South Korea, but we are also working in many other markets. Edmentum International, which is my company, is an international business. And from these statistics that give you some overview of our coverage, we work with over 1 million teachers worldwide, more than 14 million students, and we are actually operational now in 80 countries around the world. But I can say with complete confidence that we've never been involved in a project like this, which is working with our material and our content, but actually working from a foundation that's extremely strong and solid, and this is the StudyCat Foundation. And I can tell you that before this project began, I had never heard of StudyCat, but Jeff and the team in Korea discovered the StudyCat and said this is an incredible program for kindergarten students, really the best in the market. And amazingly, our solution sits perfectly on top of StudyCat, so you have this seamless paradigm moving from one level to the other. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our solution for elementary students. So on Jeff's pyramid, you remember we go from the large foundation in kindergarten, and then we grow through elementary. And this is our product called Education City. Education City is a cross-curricular resource for primary elementary students. It's developed for the whole curriculum. So this is the other element of our project I wanted to highlight, that our project is about all English throughout the curriculum. Rather than you just learning English with vocabulary in specific language, we believe that if you study English across all the curriculum subjects, you'll get a much better and more effective grounding in using English language in an active way. Because if that language is contextual, it has much greater meaning for you as a student. It's also a lot more effective for teachers. And as you can see, we cover the whole range of subjects that students would come across in an elementary or primary school setting. We also provide a great deal of support for teachers, and this is another way that we build on the program with StudyCat. You'll see from StudyCat's materials that they provide a huge amount of teacher support, and we build on that in several ways. We offer a differentiated learning, so different types of activities for different students. We offer whole class instruction models, so for large groups, a single model, or for differentiated groups, you can change depending on the size of your group or whether you have a larger class. And of course, blended learning. As Mark said just now, we look at a blend of using materials, the whiteboard or the projector, a tablet or other device, the mobile phone, and also printed books. And the printed books for this project have actually been developed in Korea with our Korean partners to support Korean learners. So this is a truly remarkable experience for us to work in such deep partnership with our colleagues. And of course the final piece is the assessment and reporting function, where we know that teachers have to provide a lot of assessment and reports, and they can use our tools to do that very easily. Further, we do a lot of work to help independent learning. This is increasingly important, we know, around the world, and we want to empower Korean students to learn and to be more independent in their learning styles. We also want to provide a lot of support with parents. Now we know that parents in Asian societies are very concerned that their students can perform to their very best. They're very concerned to make sure that the student's journey is a successful one. And we want to help them in that journey too. And finally, we cannot think of learning as just in the classroom anymore. It's whenever, wherever you want to learn, whether it's at home. For example, with StudyCat, you can get content sent directly to your mobile phone in such a seamless way, and we try and provide a similar thing with Education City. And in terms of the whole school setting, we offer various tools, learn screens, topic tools, that will allow schools to provide data and support parents and administrators in terms of what's happening within the classroom setting. And all of these tools will be available to our partners in Korea alongside the StudyCat program. And finally, there are lots of opportunities for teachers to customize our programs to fit their own needs. So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution at all. This is really important. We can't predict how a teacher wants to use our course, so we want to give them the tools to use it flexibly. So altogether, that's a little summary of that product, and as I said, we feel it builds very nicely on the StudyCat program. And then I'll hand back to Jeff, who can give you a bit more of an idea of the implementation of the project.
Thank you, Gavin, for that in-depth look into Edmentum's very strong position in primary education. We're going to talk a little bit more about Cambridge and their CEFR level testing for the English. Now, as mentioned, StudyCat is tightly correlated to the early learners in Cambridge. But we've taken for those of you who know Cambridge level testing, they go from A1 all the way up to C2. Normally, they're going to have students pretty much ready for school in English at the B1 level. Our program beats that. Right? It beats that very well. I'll show you how we've correlated our programs together. So here is the Fun English right at the preschool to kindergarten level. Education City picks up from junior learners. This is our book series, Edmentum's book series. Junior learners take off in flight. Academies 1, Academies 2, and Academics 3. And here we've got the straight correlation from the Cambridge level testing that goes through. And so you can see how then that would run with a student in their home school, in their home country public school system, all the way to 12th grade. And we would then help that student to become eligible for a parallel Western education track at 4th grade. And finally, we're also picking up the SAT preparation at around the middle school level. so that we'll help these students prepare for any eventuality. Let's say that they choose to stay in their home country for their university. Well, we're going to make sure we take responsibility for that too in the SATs. So, just in brief, we've given you a 30,000-foot view of our program, our project. We certainly appreciate your attention. We invite you to come by N25 to talk more. Booth N25 is Edmentum's booth at the show. And really thank you for your attention.